Hey, so what's going on everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video what I want to go over is a video going on to Avengers Endgame. Now it will be going on to kind of like a plot leak that was released maybe like a day or two ago. I'm not too sure how long ago it was. Now, also if I do sound a bit tired, sorry about that or whatever, only time I can kind of record. And with all of that being said, spoilers, all of that, and now let's get into the video. It starts off saying that the Avengers meet like Captain Marvel, they reunite in the Avengers HQ, and they plan to go after Thanos, which all makes sense. Tony and Nebula are wandering in space, and then Tony and Nebula, whatever, also go on and get a last spark of kind of like hope, and they go on and use Nebula's armor to go on and help like repair the Benatar, which makes sense for them to travel back to Earth. And then it goes on and says that Tony stares into the sun as like they go back to Earth, and then the Avengers greet them. Tony's in like a terrible shape. Nebula and Rocket talk about the fallen ones, which is going to be the fallen kind of guardians. Rocket repairs like the Benatar. Tony and like Banner go to the hospital where they kind of like both are out of it, so they don't want to go to the garden to fight Thanos, which makes sense. We've kind of seen that in the either trailer, TV spot, or special look. I'm not too sure which one of them it was. And then the second energy spike, which was in the special look, is like a registered for Thanos trying to like destroy the gauntlet, which makes sense for him not to be able to kind of like his whole plan to be undone, which just makes complete sense. Captain America, Captain Marvel, Thor, Rhodey, Rocket, Black Widow get aboard the Benatar, and they go to the ship, or they go to basically like Thanos and on the garden or whatever, and to like try and fight him. Thanos got engaged in a fight, and then Thor left him kind of wounded, and then Captain Marvel intervenes to give him like the final blow, and then Thanos is overwhelmed or whatever. He uses like the gauntlet to paralyze all the Avengers. Meanwhile, he forces them to see how he pulverizes Captain Marvel, which is just going to result in her dying, which is very shocking. Actually, it's very shocking. I didn't expect that. And then Thanos goes on and flees for the like rest of the Avengers, are like left in the ruins or whatever. The Avengers return to Earth kind of feeling bumped, or like really kind of depressed or whatever, and just out of hope really. Thor and Rocket go to space, and Captain America and Rhodey go on to create support groups, which I believe was actually in like the first official trailer we got for the movie, which everyone was kind of curious what was going on. Tony's PTSD aggravates, so he starts to build a load of armors or a load of marks or whatever, which is going to result in going up to Mark 85, which is the one we've seen in the trailer. And then it goes on to Banner gets over his problems with the Hulk, basically a time jump where 2 years is being like an exact number for the time jump. Black Widow then hears rumors about Hawkeye and then goes to try and find him, and then mankind kind of collapses. Ant-Man appears from the quantum realm, which is very interesting again, and then goes on and talks about he basically goes to the Avengers HQ where he talks to Tony about the quantum realm and how he's traveled in time to the 70s and got help from Tony's father and Hank Pym to return to like the present time. He delivers a message to Tony from his father and has proof of his time travel, or he's traveled through time, which is going to be very interesting again. They talk about how there's multiple timelines and how they could travel through all the timelines without kind of modifying too much of their own timeline, which is, saying a lot of timeline there. Stark goes on and makes an electric infinity gauntlet and some, quantum suits, or the white suits we've seen in the trailer, and then the whole like Stark gauntlet we've seen in a toy leak a few days ago. But anyway, going back onto it, essentially it means like the Avengers are going to be going back in time and getting like all of the stones, which is just very, very interesting. We already knew about all of that. Every time they go back into a different time period, they're creating a different timeline, which will basically kind of like coexist with their principal timeline. So alternative like dimensions, which is very interesting because dimensions are going to be in this movie. Thanos notices all of this in some way, and then he goes to make his fleet or jump to Earth. He makes like an orbital strike destroying the Avengers HQ, which we've seen in a trailer. We haven't seen him destroy it, but we know it's going to be the Avengers HQ, and just a great chunk of land. And then Thanos gets kind of confronted by Tony, Cap, and Thor, which we see on also like the trailer, like TV spot or whatever it was. Thanos is looking for the Stark gauntlet, which he destroyed in the original, and all the original kind of like stones, which is like the original timeline. He sends the Outriders to retrieve the gauntlet. Black Widow, Hawkeye, Rhodey, Rocket, and Ant-Man fight them in the subfloors, which we've also seen in the trailer with, like Ant-Man jumping between an office or something. In some point in the battle, Thanos impales Thor with his sword and kills him. Hulk appears in rage. He and Thanos get in an epic battle again, but is defeated. Captain America can't believe what's happening, and Tony also grabs like the Stark gauntlet and they flee. Now, that is going to be the ending of the whole kind of synopsis or leak or whatever. Now, there is something else mentioning how Thor goes on and gets an army, which is going to be with Valkyrie, which would make sure, it would basically kind of reveal how she's going to be coming back. Now, it is very interesting. I won't be going too much more into it. So it's been pretty much everything I kind of wanted to go over in the video and kind of, you know, share new information in case like all of this is going to be real. So, you know, if you want to and you're new around here, you know, you can subscribe, leave a like and comment down below. Hope you have a great day and everything as well. And goodbye.